Hello everyone, welcome to online lecture on ARM controllers. Myself Naveen GC, lecturer in Electronics and Communication Department from Government Polytechnic, Bantwala. It's a lecture about the first chapter ARM Embedded System and ARM Processor Fundamentals. It is the sixth session. In this session, we are going to talk on resistors and CPSR. Resistors are storage elements. CPSR means current program status register. Before starting this class, we'll see what we have studied in the previous session. As we know, in the previous session, we have studied some features of ARM core processors. And also, we have studied the difference between von Neumann and Harvard architecture. Then, we have studied what are the different elements present in the data flow model and details of those elements. As you know, there are different elements. One is instruction decoder to decode the instructions. Then there is a hardware called sign extend. This sign extend hardware which is used to convert 8-bit or 16-bit data values into 32-bit data values, and there is a register bank, that is register file. In today's class we are going to talk on this block. Then there is a barrel shifter to perform shifting and rotating operations. Then there is a MAC unit, that is multiply and accumulate unit. Then there is a ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. Then address registers is present to store the address that is generated by ALU. Then there is a incrementer to increment the address present in the address register. So this all we have studied in the previous lecture. In today's class, I am going to talk on ARM core registers. What are the registers and what are the different registers available in the ARM core? So then there are some active registers. We are going to talk on those active registers in the future slides. So then there is a current program status register, generally called as a CPSR. So in this we are going to study of bit structure of CPSR and different fields present in the CPSR. So then there is a ARM register organization, and finally some multiple choice question to check your understanding level. Learning outcomes. Learning outcomes of this session are: at the end of this session, you will be able to explain ARM core registers. So, how many registers are there? What is the purpose of those registers? So, all these details you need to explain. Then, the second outcome is you will be able to explain CPSR register in detail. So CPSR details means bit structure and what are the different fields present in the CPSR, how to set those fields to enter a particular mode. All these things you have to study. So these two are the learning outcomes of this session. Okay, so what are registers and how many registers are available in the ARM? We'll see now. Registers are a very important elements which are used to store either data or an address. These registers used to store data or address. These registers are identified or named with the letter called small letter R. So prefixed with to register number means, for example, there is a register 0, so that is represented as a R0. Similarly, R1, R2, R3, so on. So this is the representation way. So in ARM processor, Totally, there are 37 resistors are available. There are 37 resistors are available. Out of these 37 resistors, 20 resistors are hidden resistors. Out of these total 37 resistors, 20 resistors are hidden resistors. These resistors are called banked resistors. The details of this banked resistors we'll see in the upcoming lectures. Then all these resistors available in the ARM core processor are 32-bit long. That means it holds 32-bit values. These 37 resistors are grouped into different category. In that first one, there are 30 general purpose resistor, along with that plus one program counter. So out of this 31 resistors, only 16 resistors, that is R0 to R15, are available in the user mode. That means that only 16 resistor is permit to access for a users. So then there is one dedicated current program status register to store the current status of the processor. So then there is a 5 dedicated saved program status register. So these are used to store the data of CPSR when processor jump to other mode from the user mode, that will discussed in the upcoming lecture. Okay, active resistors. As you know, in ARM there are 37 resistors are available. Out of those 37 resistors, 18 resistors are active resistors. They are 16 data registers and 2 processor status registers. Out of 16 data registers, we have again two category. One is general purpose registers and special purpose registers. From R0 to R12, there are 13 registers are general purpose register. These are used to process the data. And R13, R14 and R15, these three are special purpose registers. So these are called special purpose registers. So then there are two processor status registers. One is CPSR, that is current program status registers, and second one is saved program status registers. So these 18 registers are active registers. Out of this 18, 17 registers are visible in the user mode. So along with the user mode, there are 6 different other modes are also available. So that is abort mode, supervisory mode, IRQ mode, FIQ mode, system mode, undefined mode. The details of these all processor modes will discussed in the upcoming lecture. So in this class, we'll talk more on resistors. So in the user mode, these 17 resistors are visible. So R0 to R15, along with that there is a CPSR. So in these 16 resistors, R0 to R12 are general purpose resistors. These green highlighted resistors R13, R14 and R15 are special purpose resistor. R13 is used as a stack pointer, R14 is used as a link resistor, R15 is used as a program counter. So we'll discuss one by one. First one, general purpose resistors. So in ARM, R0 to R12, those resistors are called general purpose resistors. These are available for users. So these resistors are used to processing the data. This resistor R0 to R12, totally 13 resistors are used to processing the data. Then there are three different special purpose registers are present in the ARM. So in that first one there is a stack pointer. R13 register is called stack pointer. So this stack pointer points the special area called stack. So you all know stack memory. So stack is the area of memory which is used to hold the data that will be retrieved soon. So that is a stack memory. This stack pointer is used to store the head of the stack. That means the top of the stack in the current processor mode. When subroutines calls, that means that when subroutines start, this stack pointer allocate or assign a new block of memory on the top of the stack. So it will allocate the new block of the stack. So when it returns, the subroutine will release the block from the top. This previously allocated block will release from the top of the block. Then it restores the stack to its older state. So this is about stack pointer. R13 is used as a stack pointer. Then there is a link register. R14 is called link register. This link register provide a link between one mode with another mode. So I told in the previous slide there are different modes along with the user mode. So when it jumps to one mode to another mode, we should have a return address to return back to user mode. So that is performed by link register. This link register stores the return address. This L14 register stores the return address when a subroutine call is made. So it can also used as a general purpose register. This R14 is also used as a general purpose register if the return address is stored on the stack. When the processor performs a subroutine call, the link register is set to the subroutine return address. When subroutine calls, it will set the return address. The return address is stored in the this link register. When perform the re-return to user mode, so then at that time copy this LR, the subroutine address which is stored in the LR will copy back to program counter. Then program counter access the next instruction to be executed. So this is the purpose of link register. Then another important register is R15, that is program counter. Program counter is a 32-bit register. It will store 32-bit value, which is also known as R15. It is a main register. It is used to store memory address of the next instruction to be executed. It will store the memory address of the next instruction which is to be executed. So this is program counter. So R0 to R15 are the user registers. Out of 16 registers up to R12 there are data registers. These three are the special purpose registers. Along with that there is a CPSR, that is current program status register. Okay, current program status register, generally called as CPSR. By using this CPSR, we can monitor and control the internal operation of ARM core processor. So it's a very important register in ARM processor. So this CPSR present in the register bank, that means that present in the register file. So it is a 32-bit register. It holds signed or unsigned 32-bit values. This CPSR is divided into 4 different fields. So each bit has 8 bit wide. So they are, one is flag field, second one is status field, third one is extension field, and fourth one is control field. CPSR register field divided into 4 different fields, each of 8 bits. One is flag field, status field, extension field, and control field. This status and extension field are reserved for the future use. The control field, the fourth field, the control field contains processor mode, state, and interrupt mask bits. So processor modes means to select the particular processor mode. There are 7 different processor modes: user mode, abort, IRQ, FIQ, undefined, supervisory mode, and system mode. To select a particular mode, so we can use this control field. Similarly, we have 3 different states: ARM state, thumb state, and Jazelle state. To select a particular instruction set state, so control field will helpful. Similarly, there will be a interrupt mask bits. There are 2 interrupt mask bits, FIQ and IRQ. Then the flag field. The flag field contains conditional flags. So all these field will see in the diagram. So this is the bit structure of current program status register. Totally these are 32-bit registers. This 32-bit divided into 4 fields, each of 8 bits. So 8 into 4, 32 bits. So first one is flag fields. It contains conditional flags, that is negative flag and etc. So then there is a status field, then extension field, and control field. So this control field contains 2 interrupt bits, interrupt mask bits, that is one is IRQ and FIQ bits, and there is it will indicate the thumb state, either it operates in the thumb state or ARM state. So these 5 bits 0 to 4, 5 bits are used to select the particular processor mode, either user mode or abort, etc, etc, etc. So this is flag field. Though in this there is a negative flag, zero flag field, carry flag field, overflow field. So these all are the different fields in the CPSR. We'll study one by one in the next slide. First one, conditional flags in the CPSR. In that, the first flag, conditional flag, is negative flag. So when this last bit, that is MSB bit, that bit number 31, when that bit number 31 is equal to 0, then that is bit number 31 of the result has been set, indicates a negative number in a signed operation. When it is equal to 1, that means that 31 bit is equal to 1, that means that it's a negative number. Then there is a 0 flag. When z is equal to 1, the result of operation is 0. So processor perform different operations. Whether the result of that operation is 0 or not, that is indicated by this 0 flag. When z is set to 1, that means that the result of operation is equal to 0. It is also used to indicate the equality. Compare two different numbers, whether it is equal or not. So for that purpose also 0 flag is used. Next one is carry flag. The name indicates whether there any carry or not. When C is equal to 1, that indicates the result causes a unsigned carry. If it is equal to 0, there is no carry. If it is equal to 1, there is a unsigned carry. Then there is a overflow flag bit. So when this bit V is equal to 1, that indicates the result of operation. The generated result is a signed overflow. It's a signed overflow. Similarly, there is a saturation flag. When Q is equal to 1, that indicates result causes a saturation. So these are all different conditional flags in the CPSR. One is negative flag. When n is equal to 1, there is a negative value. There is next one is 0 flag. Z is equal to 1 means there is a result is equal to 0. Then carry flag. If C is equal to 1, there is a answer generating a carry. Then V is equal to 1, that's the overflow flag. This indicates signed overflow. When Q is equal to 1, that is saturation flag. This indicates it causes a saturation. Okay. Next field of CPSR is control field. It is a 8-bit field. Out of 8 bits, starting 0 to 4, that means that 5 bits are used for mode selection. Another 3 bits are I, F and T. So there are some events. Those events will interrupt the processor. Those events are called interrupts. Then these specific interrupts will stop by using these interrupt masks. That is I and F. In ARM, there are 2 interrupt mask bits present, that is I and F. These 2 mask bits, interrupt mask bits, are used to stop a specific interrupt request from interrupting the processor. So there are 2 interrupt request levels available on the ARM processor core. First one is interrupt request and the second one is fast interrupt request. So I bit number 7, if it is equal to 1, if I is equal to 1, that means it disables IRQ. If it is equal to 0, enables the interrupt request. In case bit number 6, that is F is equal to 1, that disables the FIQ. If F is equal to 0, that enables the FIQ. So out of these two, inter IRQ and FIQ has a highest priority. Okay, we can change the mode of operation of the processor from ARM to thumb or thumb to ARM. We can switch from thumb mode by setting T bit, that is bit number 5 in the control field of CPSR. If T is equal to 0, mode of operation in ARM mode. If T is equal to 1, the mode of operation is thumb mode. There are two different modes, that is ARM and thumb mode, that is controlled by this bit number 5, that is T bit. So this is about control field of a CPSR. It's a 8-bit. So first 5 bits are used for mode selection, that is discussed in the next slide. Another 3 bits are IFT, 2 interrupt mask bits present, and another one is state bit. It will indicate either ARM mode or thumb mode. Okay, so in the control field, the first starting 5 bits are bit number 0 to bit number 4. These 5 bits are used for mode selection. So as you know, there are 7 different modes. What are those? Number 1, user mode, abort mode, supervisory mode, FIQ mode, IRQ mode, undefined mode, and system mode. So these all modes as a its own bit numbers. So if these mode bits are 1 0 1 1 1, that means that indicates that processor operates in the abort mode. If it is equal to 1 0 0 0 1, that is in the fast interrupt request mode. Similarly, these are the bit values. and these are the different processor modes in the ARM. This is the abbreviation of different ARM mode. For example, so there is a register used in the abort mode. That, for example, I will take R1. That register is expressed in the name of R0 underscore ABT. Understand? So similarly, this all abbreviations are used for different registers. So this is control bits for processor mode. 0 to 4, totally 5 bits are used to select a particular mode. So we have 7 different modes. Okay, next status register is saved program status register, that is generally called as SPSR. This SPSR stores the current value of the CPSR. When an exception is taken, then so that CPSR can be restored after handling the exception. For example, processor executes in the user mode, suddenly some interrupt occurs. For example, FIQ fast interrupt request occurs. At that time, CPSR shifted into that particular mode. So that particular mode has a SPSR underscore FIQ. For example, FIQ. So that SPSR will store the value of this CPSR, entire CPSR status value is stored in the SPSR in FIQ mode. Understand? Okay. Each exception handling mode can access its own CPSR. For example, we have 6 modes except user mode, that 5 different modes are available. 5 different SPSR present. User mode and system mode do not have saved program status register because they are not exception handling modes. The remaining 5 modes are exception handling modes. They are having their own SPSR. Which are those exception handling modes? Abort mode, supervisory mode, undefined mode, and FIQ mode and IRQ mode. So this is about SPSR, that is saved program status register. Okay, so this is the entire ARM register organization. So these are the current visible register for users. So totally R0 to R15, 16. Along with that, there is a CPSR, that is current program status register. These 17 registers are visible register for user. So another 20 registers are called banked registers. These are used when processor executes in that particular mode, that is abort mode. When a processor executes in the abort mode, these registers are used. In executing in FIQ mode, these registers specially used. Similarly in the remaining mode also. So these are 17 modes and these are 20 banked modes. Totally there are 37 registers in ARM control processor. Okay, so what we have discussed in this class: first, what is register? What are the different registers available in the ARM? What are active registers? In active registers, what are data processing register? What are status register? So R0 to R12 are data registers, data processing register. Then R13, R14 and R15 are special purpose registers. R13 is a stack pointer, R14 is a link register, then R15 is a program counter. Along with that, another 2 status registers are there. Which are those? Number 1, current program status register, that is CPSR. Similarly, another one is SPSR, that is saved program status registers. And also we have discussed a bit structure of CPSR, current program status registers. In CPSR there are 4 fields: control field, flag field, status field and extension field. So we have studied all these topics in this class. Okay, so in this session there are some possible questions. So one is, explain the active registers used in the CPSR mode. This can be asked for 5 marks. You have to explain those 18 registers R02, R16 and CPSR and SPSR for this question. Next possible question is, explain the function of special function registers of ARM. What are the special function registers in ARM? There are 3 special function register. One is R13, R14 and R15. So stack pointer, link register and program counter. For this question you need to explain those 3 registers. Next one is, explain the bit structure of CPSR. You know the bit structure of CPSR. It contains 4 different fields. What are the 4 different fields? Extension field, control field, flag field and another one is status field. With the neat diagram or neat bit structure of CPSR, you need to explain all those fields. They can ask individual question, that is, describe the function of flags of CPSR. So how many flags are there? 5 flags. N flag, that is negative flag, 0 flag, carry flag, V flag, that is overflow flag and saturation flag. You need to explain 5 different flags, conditional flags in the CPSR. Last one, describe the function of IFT and mode bits of CPSR. I and F are the interrupt mask bits. T is used to represents the state, whether it is in thumb state or arm state. Mode bits to select particular processor mode. So this is possible descriptive question. Okay, now we'll check your understanding level with these multiple choice questions. The first question is, register contains dash. Number 1, address, data, both address and data, none of the above. Tell me the answer. Pause the video and answer it. Okay, I think you answered. The answer for this question is both. Register contains address as well as data value. Okay, next question number 2, that is, the SPSR store the dash mode of CPSR, whether present mode or previous mode or both present and as well as previous or none of the above. Okay, what is the answer? Okay, answer is previous. This saved program status register store the previous mode of CPSR, that will help to return to user mode after handling the exception. Next question is, CPSR, that is current program status register, has dash interrupt mask bits. How many interrupt mask bits present in the CPSR? 2, 5, 6 and 4. It's a simple one. Tell me, how many interrupt mask bits present in the CPSR? Yes, it is 2. 2 interrupt mask bits are present, one for interrupt request, that is IRQ, and another one is FIQ. The next question is, which of the following register in ARM7 is used to point to the location of currently executing instruction in the program? I repeat, which of the following register in ARM7 is used to point to the location of currently executing instruction in a program? Which one? Whether it is R13 or R5, R15, R8? The answer is R15, that is program counter. Program counter which is used to store the address of the next instruction to be executed. Next question is, it repeats, register contains address and data. Sixth one is, instruction used to transfer the data between register and memory. Which instruction is used to transfer the data between register and memory? If load instruction or store instruction, or both load and store instruction, or none of the above? It's also simple one. The answer is both. Load and store instructions are used to transfer the data between register and memory. These are the references I used to prepare this session. And finally, I would like to thank to my subject developers and moderator and subject experts. Thank you for watching.